So good evening. I can see some of you look a little tired by now. So since I'm the third speaker, I'm deciding to ruffle the feathers a little bit. And I'm not going to show you interesting slides. By the way, the presentation from this gentleman here just now was very, very, very interesting to me because it shows in reality what we are now want to discuss in philosophy. The problem is this. We had earlier a discussion or a presentation from the ambassador from Holland who was alerting us to the fear of technology. What can technology do wrong to us? What is the problem? And so we feel when we see those artificial intelligence-driven machines, and when we talk about artificial intelligence or about computers that will actually take over the decision-making process. We were here talking about governments, talking about running societies. There's a lot of people that worry about those technologies. Well, here's the good news and here's the bad news. You will not be able to stop it. We will not be able to stop it. And I will explain to you why that is. And I want to explain this on a little example. About 100 years ago in Berlin, Johann Schmidt had a beer distribution company, and every morning he would take out his buggy and his horses, and he would go load up barrels of beer on his cart, and he would go out and sell beer to the local pubs in Berlin. And he did this every day, and one day he heard some very, very strange noise coming down the street. Somebody had bought a truck. He had never seen a truck, he heard about a truck, but he didn't like that thing. It didn't look good, he liked his horses, he liked his cart. He would never, he decided, use a truck. And neither did anyone else. Nobody liked that loud thing. And besides, it was highly impractical. There were no roads designed for trucks. There were no gas stations, no repair shops. So why would we want those things at the first place? Well, Johann Schmidt continued on to deliver his beer on horse and buggy. But one day, one of his competitors, a very far-out thinking man, bought one of those trucks. And what did he do? He sold beer, and every time Mr. Schmidt came to a pub to sell beer, his competitor already was there and already sold the beer. See, it is the competitiveness of technology that forces its adoption. It forces that we accept it. It forces us to use it. So, for example, when the internet came all about and we started using email, everyone tried to hold on to faxes. In my company, I have not received a fax in more than 4 months, not one. Everything is done electronically. In the beginning, nobody liked it. Nobody wanted to adapt to it. And so you see, we are living in a Darwinian world. And it is not the strongest and the fittest that survives. It is the one most adaptable to change. That is what moves forward. And so big changes in technology don't come in one big bang. They come in little pieces, a little here, a little there. But we keep on moving towards those new worlds in which machines will actually run the world. So now let's talk about the connectivity. Let's talk about what is connecting to what and how and where. So the way we use computers in the last, let's say, 2 decades is in 2 profound different ways. Way number 1 is that we use the computer to receive some kind of information. We would receive a document, we would receive an email, we would receive some information, perhaps the temperature of some place somewhere in some city. We took that information and we made some kind of decision in how we use it and how we apply it. The other way how we use computers is that we are interacting with something. We're managing something. We're writing a document, we print it, we send it. Or we manage robots, for example, a car manufacturing plant. Or we are managing a nuclear power plant. Or we're managing some kind of device. In the beginning, there's the human being, and it makes a decision, and it will carry that out using a computer. But you see, that human in the middle is about to disappear. It disappears not by choice, it disappears because humans can no longer compete with machine processes that are coming about. We can't afford to do so. One of the examples is in the financial industry, algorithmic trading. In algorithmic trading, we are now having computers that read the news, they make assessments, then they carry them out. Very, very soon, you will not even have a financial industry because computers will have arbitrage by that process, first all the margins and then all the time lag, and we no longer need a financial industry because there is no more speculative edge or no more profits to be made. So the world will change very, very rapidly. And what is happening in the center is those machines that are driven by AI that become extremely efficient and that will replace us. Where does that leave us, human beings? It's a good question. We should discuss that later. There's a lot of answers that we should talk about. There's a lot of very interesting controversy that we should be discussing about that. But what we need to get ready for is a world in which we are managed and monitor and in which we are defining where those machines will take us. One of the things that Mr. Cochran did not mention is that we are probably between 3 to 5 years away from usable, commercially usable quantum computers. Those machines will completely erase Moore's law. Those machines will be hundreds of thousands of times more powerful than anything that was on those schematics that I saw earlier. This will completely change the entire game. It will change everything. When you look at Big Blue created a machine that can play chess. On the day that that computer was beating the grandmaster decisively, our interest in chess worldwide collapsed. When you look at all the publications about chess, all the events, all the talk in the media that you could filter out, before and after, you see a dramatic change. We no longer even were interested in the game of chess because it is now handled by a machine. And that will happen with all of those other things, whether it's the financial industry, whether it is how we market things, how we understand commercial interaction. See, in the future, we will deal by, when you know 400 milliseconds earlier, who needs 500 tons of copper, at what grade, at what port, shipped by what vessel, from what stockpile, earlier than your competitor. That is your business and your business opportunity. And that will be entirely matched and managed by computers, not by human beings. So I think what we will do in the future, we'll have a lot more time for recreational activities or to sit in rooms like this and discuss the sense and nonsense of artificial intelligence, while out there machines actually will go and manage our world. For the good or for the worse, I don't know, but I think it will happen anyway because we have absolutely no say-so whether this is going to take place or not. It will happen. And now I will leave more time of my talk to discussions for later. Thank you.
Thank you.